like we did last time.
Sounds great.
All right. I think we are live here. Let's see. Let's give a few minutes for
Hello, everyone.
everybody to get into the chat. Oh, Modern Crime and Cards. Travis, what's up, brother?
Travis, what's up? Good evening, everyone.
Let us know if you can hear us. All right. People are going to start flowing in to the chat here.
I was like, what am I listening to? I had both the YouTube on as well. What's up, folks? Hello, this is Merlin and the Great Curator. This is Between Two Slabs, episode 3. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Did you, Dan?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Great.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
lots of food. Definitely. I had a big dinner with my childhood friend out in Simi Valley, who I grew up with in North Carolina. And then Friday I had another Friendsgiving, and then Saturday another Friendsgiving. So I don't think I want to eat for a week.
Yeah. It was kind of weird. Like there was no card shows last week, you know?
No, I think some people went to Diamond 9, but I didn't go.
Oh, did they have a show up there?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And also,
you're doing the show there this weekend, right?
I am, because I'm going there to support LA Hobbyists and those guys. They're going to be sponsoring a thing there this Saturday. So it's their event, but at the Diamond 9 in Placentia. And they're going to have, I think, like, they're having several people, YouTube influencers speaking. Like, I think Sasha T is going to be there speaking, and other people. Oh, so come and check it out if y'all can. Anybody in the LA, Orange County area, come to Diamond 9 Placentia this Saturday.
Shoot. All right.
You there?
I'm trying to get the optimal viewing here. All right, so we got a few people in the chat. Okay, so what are we chatting about today?
Well, you just had a video this past week talking about cards and inflation, and I even mentioned to you, I've talked to a few people that should I panic? Should I what? Because inflation is hitting us already, and it's going to hit us even harder, I think, come the new year. And I mean, are cards and collectibles still on people's plates when they're worried about, paying for gas, paying for food, paying for a mortgage?
Right.
I mean, is it good to still invest in cards, Dan? I'm worried, So should I worry or not?
This is going to be a very controversial conversation here, because I have thoughts. I have opinions about this, and I know when I posted that video a couple of days ago, I got good feedback, but I also got a lot of pushback for people about this. So some people, it just kind of depends on your perspective, okay? And we can definitely chat about that. But one thing I wanted to ask you real quick here, just one thing that you just said. You said you're nervous. Can you clarify? Are you nervous about the economy as a whole, inflation and everything getting expensive, or are you nervous about the card market specifically?
Well,
or both?
Yeah, of course, both. But this topic is about cards, and I'm a card investor just like you, a card collector and an investor. I look to sell stuff. So is it going to be useless, collectibles come January? Is my stuff worthless?
Okay. Well, before I give you my opinions, let me just ask you what's your initial thoughts now, because you're in this just as much as I am. What are you seeing?
Well, the only thing I'm seeing is just more people at shows just wanting to trade than to buy. That would be my only observation. Does that have anything to do with the economy? I don't know.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I would agree with that. But I've been seeing that since early, like I would say April, right?
Correct.
Like people trying to trade. and not buy as much. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And explain that in a little bit here. But let me ask you: besides cards, are you in any other type of investment market? Stocks,
yes.
NFTs, crypto?
I have stocks and I guess, mutual funds and, 401k and all that.
Okay. And how long have you been investing in those areas?
Oh, I'd say 30 years or more.
30 years. Okay. So you've seen ups and downs, right?
Yes.
Okay. So from your experience, when there's a run up, right? A very bull market run up, and then there's something that happens that's, nobody predicts and it drops, okay? What do you usually see that happens afterwards?
After a lot of things freaking out, I guess like this week, I guess it's been the new COVID variant or, other kind
Okay.
of, panic, fear events have happened.
Well, let's go back to what happened just last year, right when
Okay.
COVID happened, right? And you were in the stock market at that time, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
When COVID happened and it shut everything down, the stock market dropped dramatically, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Right? Okay. Most people that were in the market at that time, they remember that. Do you also remember that after maybe a couple months, it had a huge run up, like
Yes.
almost all-time highs? Do you remember that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to use this. I want to use this same example, and I'm going to tie this back to the card market in a second
Okay.
here. Okay. This this typically happens all the time. All right. Where any market you can look at precious metals, you can look at stocks, you can look at bonds, whatever, cards here. When people are optimistic, the cards run up huge. I mean, not
Mm-hmm.
but like the market will run up huge, right? People are
Mm-hmm.
optimistic, and more people, as they hear about the news, they jump in and they try to get their share, right? It's like a gold rush, and it'll go up, 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 up until it's not sustainable anymore, where it's either a bubble or something happens, like really bad news, and then there'll be a dramatic crash. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens at that time, that's what separates um, real investors from like I call bandwagon investors. Okay. Where when the market comes down, the real discipline that an investor has to have is to ride it out. Most people don't do that though. Most people jump off, because they can't take the pain, right? Or they've over leveraged themselves to a point where they need the cash or whatever it is. But most people, they jump off at that point. They jump off the ride. Okay. And when it goes down, that's when the real professional, savvy, smart, whatever you want to call it, investors will buy, right? They'll buy on the dip, they'll buy on the low. Okay. They'll ride it out, and then they'll eventually go back up. And that's how most markets work. Okay. In every sustainable investment class or investment market, that's how it works. There's always a up, and then there's a big down, and then there's an up, and it'll go higher than it was last time. As you know, that's how it usually works. You look in any market, stocks, crypto, real estate, cards, it's all the same, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
point of me making that video earlier to talk about whether cards are legitimate alternative investment is that a lot of people are saying that cards. Some people took the position that cards are like a fad, where the last 2 years the pandemic pumped them up and whatever, and now they're just going down. They're going down, and they're not a legitimate investment anymore.
Right.
And that's fine. Some people can believe that. I don't believe that myself. From what I've seen, and the research that I've done, I think that it's a sustainable market for an alternative investment. And and my point is, if it's a sustainable market, sorry, if it's a sustainable market, then it will follow those same patterns where there'll be rises and downs, and the people that are consistent and can ride the waves, those are the people that will benefit. And for those people, then yes, cards will be a good alternative investment, a hedge against inflation. For the people that cannot ride those waves, then no, it's not going to be. Okay.
Gotcha.
And I think that's where the distinction has to be. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, I feel a little reassured. I can ride the wave, definitely. I just hope others can as well. I mean, what does the viewers out there, what do you all think? I'll ride the wave. I mean, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. I'll probably still buy things. Right. I'll still sell stuff. We'll just have to wait and see, and just be patient. I'm not going to sell a $500 card for $5.
Yeah, right.
Like I have to.
You're not going to.
I'm going to regret it in the long run.
Sell.
No.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I guess it's also a good time to buy it too, if you want to.
Yeah, yeah, and I want to, we'll go to the chat and see what people are saying. We'll highlight some of these chats. We'll try to answer some questions if it is, but then after that, I want to get into the distinctions about like what cards specifically should you be buying, to hedge against inflation. I think that would be interesting.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so
and guys, make sure this is the Great Curator and Merlin, Merleworld Cards. Check us out on Instagram at the Great Curator and Merleworld Cards. Also, make sure, guys, you hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you know when there's more live streams for Between Two Slabs. So now let's get to the questions. Charles, how you doing,
I'm going to highlight. Yeah, yeah. Charles is always supporting us. Appreciate that.
Not worried. Thank you, Charles.
Okay.
True.
I'm just going to highlight some of these. If these are not questions, I'm just going to highlight these for you guys here.
Catastrophic knee injury. You mean like out for the season? Catastrophic?
I don't know. Has anybody heard? I know he got injured. I
knew he had an injury, but I didn't know it was that severe.
Yeah, right.
They're basically saying, hold the door. Or
yeah,
hold
on for dear life. Hold on for dear life.
Hold on for dear life. That's what the initials mean. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, correct, Matthew. These are opportunities.
Yeah, Matt.
Okay, Mark thinks that the market's going to get very ugly.
Oh, ugly. So what are you going to do, Mark?
Siflor, let me highlight this comment from Siflor.
Came back stronger than ever. True. Everybody gets injured.
Right. My boy here, 503 Trading Cards. That's Matt. Matt from Oregon.
Smash the like button. Thank you. 503.
Ian's making a comment here.
What's up, Ian?
Let me just address this comment here, real quick here by Ian. Okay, so he's basically saying when the hobby died back in the junk wax era, which is like the 90s, right? It took like 25 years basically for the card market to be reborn. Okay, so this is kind of like this is an interesting comment, and I'm going to tie this to information that I pulled from Josh Luber's paper. Did you read that paper by chance, where he said like he wrote like a 50-page paper saying how trading cards are cool again and his thoughts? Did you read that paper at all?
No.
Okay. Do you know who Josh Luber is?
No. Who's Josh Luber?
Okay. He is the guy who's going to be basically in charge of Fanatics card division now. He's like the CEO or president, whatever title they gave him. He's the guy who's going to be running Fanatics card business. Okay.
Gotcha.
He's a collector. He's very knowledgeable in the space here, and he's like he founded that company StockX.
Gotcha. Oh yes.
So he's legit. Anyways, he wrote this like 2 weeks ago. He wrote this like a 53-page paper. It was like a manifesto. It's like a research paper, really. It's like can't believe this guy put it out. He published this 53-page paper about why he thinks it's titled like Why Trading Cards Are Cool Again or something like that. And basically he outlines the history of trading cards, what happened, what caused, significant events throughout the history of trading cards, and then what he thinks caused the most recent boom and what he thinks will be in the future, right? Anyway, so and I'm going to be making a video where I kind of like discuss like the highlights from the paper, which I'll be putting out soon. But this is interesting that Ian kind of brought this up. So in the paper, he talks about like the junk wax era of the 90s, how everything died off for a few reasons, mainly overproduction of cards and demand not meeting the supply. Okay. Also, I guess he mentioned some things about like the collector aging out and the hobby dying and things like that, right? But he details what has happened from like 1990 to like 2020, and he shows using Card Ladder's price index, which tracks all these things. He shows a steady uptick of the card market through the years. Okay, from like the mid 90s all the way up to the 2020s, which I think is very interesting. Okay, so if you look at it from that perspective, the reason I'm trying to bring this up is that I would argue that cards did not just make a comeback in 2020. Okay, it boomed in 2020, yes. But it has been a very steady market from like 2000 all the way up to 2020. Over the last 20 years, it has been a steady uptick throughout the years, and it just hit the crazy point where it boomed in 2020. Okay, so in that regard, I would say, like, from what I'm reading from Ian's comment here, is that we had a crash this year, and it may take a very, very, very long time for the cards to go back up there. I don't necessarily believe that myself. Okay, in that paper, he talks about a lot of reasons why we had the dramatic crash that we had earlier this year, but he's very optimistic about what is in the future for cards. Okay. So without getting further into details about that paper, I think that that's a good read. Anybody who's really interested in that, go read that paper and you'll kind of understand my comments, because I feel like I'm rambling a little bit here. If you haven't read that paper, you're not going to really understand.
I'll read the manifesto.
Yeah. But to summarize, he's saying that the card market has been a stable market throughout the years, and it just had a series of like events where it created a perfect storm in 2020 where it boomed. Okay, and when any market gets to a certain point, it has to come down, which is where we're at right now. But that does not mean that the whole market is dead. Okay, and he's very optimistic about what the future holds. Okay, so anyways, let me go through these comments here. Blah, blah, blah.
Let's do it.
Oh, Global Sports Card Investor. We've got our friend from Australia here. Oh, right, and Canada.
Welcome.
Canada. We have our Canadian friends here.
Tagging pigs. Pigs.
Right.
Matt always rides the wave. Good to hear. That's what I'll do then, Matt.
Okay. If you guys have questions, feel free to throw some questions into the chat here.
Anything pertaining to the topic, or anything, some unique cards or oddball cards or any cards or collectibles.
Board here. Right now is not the time to sell. It depends. Okay, you can sell at any time if you have the right profit margin. So it kind of depends. I think I'm always buying and selling. It just depends on whether you have profit or not. Definitely, if this question is kind of like, should we sell off everything and get out of the market? No, definitely not. I don't believe that. Okay, but if you have specific cards that you can take profit on, yeah, definitely not a time to panic sell, for sure. Oh, Global Sports Card Investor, I think he answered the question about jaw.
Oh, good. Only sprained knee and out for 2 weeks.
Right.
That's get better, jaw.
Okay, James has a interesting comment here. You see a dramatic downturn over the next few months, and then prices will start to go up after the pandemic ends and politics stabilize.
And who knows when those two things are going to happen anytime soon.
Right. That's what I was thinking too, because who knows when this pandemic will end, if it won't, when they actually declare. Right. It's like it seems like we get a new variant every few months now, and it impacts the market to an extent. But see what he's saying though.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, let me go through this here.
Well, that's
Modern Crime and Cards.
The best. Think positive, guys. Not for the soft.
So Modern Crime and Cards. He says and it's a buying opportunity like I haven't seen since 2014. I would agree with that.
Good.
And that's something that people have to understand too. Is like if we're basing it off of 2020 or even February of this year, then yeah, it looks like the market is dying. But you have to compare it to like a longer period of time, like 5 or the last 10 years, right? And whatever the prices are right now, they're still way above what they were at the beginning of 2020 and before that. So people need a little bit of perspective when they're trying to decide whether the market is healthy or not.
Yeah, it's not like last year, 2020, when I would wake up in the morning, I would have like 20 items sold from eBay and I have to package them that morning. I don't get that anymore in 2021.
Charles has an comment there. You can read that, Merlin.
Prepare yourselves next year. Have gold, silver, precious metals, collectibles, cryptos, NFTs. Own your own home, especially get out of debt now and have tons of cash in 2 to 3 years and buy the dumps. Thank you, Charles.
I would agree
He's
with
going to
that.
be our financial advisor. Thank you.
I know, right? I wonder what Charles does.
Yeah, Charles, what do you do, man?
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't want to. You don't have to disclose that.
If you don't have to, if you want to. I'm just curious. Yeah. Or you would hit me up.
Colorado Sports Dude. Colorado Sports Dude has an interesting comment here.
5 years ago, this online community like this here on YouTube was not near as big as it is now and growing. There will always be cycles every year of playoffs and off seasons. True. Thank you, Colorado Sports Dude. And Matt again. Panic selling. No. Agree. Be patient.
Okay, Kevin's got a question here we can answer. So let me take this one here.
Okay,
with the huge variety of products available each year for each sport, how do you determine what's worth investing in for profit? Okay, so here's my opinion about this. Okay, yeah, everybody will have different opinions, but you got to understand what these card companies, these manufacturers are doing, right? They're pumping out product as much as they can because it's a cash grab for them. It's to make money, and they make product in different tiers. They'll make entry level products. So like for basketball, for example, entry level would be like NBA hoops. Okay, very low tier, relatively inexpensive. Then their flagship product will be like Prism, right? And then they'll start to get into the higher end products like Immaculate, Flawless, National Treasures, Eminence, things like that, right? The super high end stuff. So it depends on what kind of niche you want to be in. If you want to be in like low end car, you can buy the hoops, you can buy the prisms, and you can play within those categories. But just understand that those things, since they're so mass produced and since the barrier of entry is very low because of the price point, there's going to be a lot of volatility and a lot of competition in those areas. So you could get like a card of let's just say, I don't know, Zion, right?
Okay.
And that card will just be bouncing up and down because there'll be so many of them out there. But if you're looking to go against that and get less competition, okay, and look for cards that maybe are less volatile and hold profit, then you got to go into the higher end products, which are just like lower produced, lower transactions, things like that. That's like the high end stuff, like Immaculate, Flawless, things like that. What do you think, Merlin?
No, yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, I did at first when I got into the hobby again about 3 years ago. I started buying the cheap stuff. I was buying the Donruss, the Revolution, like you said, the hoops, all the paper cards because they were affordable. And then, just give me one kick. I'm gonna phone call. Okay, and then I also decided, like, I'm going to spend some money. And at the time, 2018. I spent a few $100s on some really good autographed or RPAs of particular, famous players at the time. And back then in 2018, they only cost a few $100s. Now I've seen those cards like the Flawless, National Treasures, those cards I have, become tens of thousands of dollars. Whereas the Donruss of that same rookie particular, even though it's a variation or an autographed card, it's probably worth just a couple $1,000s. It didn't move as fast as the Flawless or National Treasures.
Yeah. And I'll add to that by saying, like, your question is really what what cards are worth investing in because there's so many out there, right? So, if you're thinking like long-term investments, then you want to be in a high-end cards if you can, if you have the money, if you have the disposable income to pay for that. If you're flipping, you want to be in the low-end cards. If you're collecting, you want to be in the low-end cards.
Right.
Just because that's an area where you can play in and there's relatively low risk in there. But if you're talking about real investing, okay, cards that hold value, that will appreciate, you got to get into the high-end cards, okay, for new stuff. Okay, I would also kind of direct you towards looking at the old stuff also, like iconic rookie cards and things like that.
Oh, true.
Okay, also I'll say this too, another way to answer this question is if you're thinking about buying buying wax and ripping it, that's probably not a great idea. You're probably not going to get a good return on investment. If you're thinking about buying wax and holding, that's a totally different thing. If you buy wax and hold, I think you could buy any type of product out there and it will appreciate in value, just because so many people are opening boxes every day, and then the supply will slowly dwindle down over the years. Okay, anyways, let's move on from that.
I was doing that as well during Zion. During 2019, I was buying a lot of the Panini, fresh off the line, the first, the stuff they had on their website, and I was getting lucky and buying those boxes. And then I was, excited as a kid again, and I would open them up, and I bet you I had about $50 worth of cards out of, $5,000 to $1,000 for that box I paid for. And the only autographs I got out of was like John Smith or John Doe. I didn't get any star names. So I was like, why did I even rip this?
Right. Let me highlight Paul's comment here. Don't panic, sell high, buy low. You can always rebuy the cards when the market is scared and selling off quickly. Yes. Seems like a lot of people kind of agree with our opinions here about where the market is. It seems like a lot of people are saying the same thing, just in a little bit different ways here. So that's interesting. I like that. Paul's got a question here. Do you think the baseball strike will affect the baseball market? Is baseball on strike right now? I'm not even sure. I've heard about it.
Just in talks.
Are they actually on strike?
I think. Just in talks.
I think that if the season is delayed, it could affect prices, but it'd be crazy that the season would be delayed at all. I don't know. I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, let me just go through
here.
Here's another question from Ryan. If there is a hot rookie, what is the best time to buy their card as a collector? Wait until the hype settles after their first rookies come out, or pick them up right away?
It's a little of both. Me.
Yeah. It depends. Like with rookies, right? If they're hot prospect in college, like Zion was, right? There's going to be a lot of demand for him. So you've got to capitalize on that. You've got to be basically first to market. So when the cards come out, you got to get them, flip them, grade them, do whatever you can, but you got to be first to market if you can. Okay. As supply starts to go out into the market, then the prices will probably, fluctuate or drop eventually. I would say that would be the first year, okay, of a guy that's really hot coming into the league. Guys that come into the league and perform very well, that get a lot of attention, such as like Ja, his first year. Was it Ja? I can't remember. Who's that big hot rookie last year? Not LaMelo.
LaMelo and
somebody else.
Anthony Edwards?
Oh, Anthony Edwards. Yeah. That's the guy, right? Guys that perform well during the season, that's an interesting play that you might want to try to pick up one of their cards to hold it for the next season, where there's hype for them going into the next season. Okay. And I think that after like the third year, when they've kind of like proven themselves to be, a star like this year, like Luka was last year, or Trae Young, or Jason Tatum, then you can start to think really long term and buy and hold.
Good one.
Anything you want to add to that, Merlin?
Well, yeah, there was also a time during 2018 that I invested in a lot of Lamar Jackson, because I really liked him when he was at Louisville, when he won the Heisman there. And then I saw his potential when he took over for Joe Flacco. And his cards were so cheap during the offseason, between 2018 and 19, when he, finally got his MVP season. And I was buying the cards for like $20, $50, just all kinds of, cheap variations of Donruss and optics. And then he had the MVP year that following year. So all his cards that I invested in just had astronomical amounts. They just increased to like almost $1,000 from the $50 that I paid for. So I really, won that gamble.
Interesting.
And he wasn't, a hyped up player either. He was
right.
just came in, and I just took that chance. But it was a gamble.
Yeah, it worked out, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to this question here. Tommy Rogers, what are your thoughts on CSG? None of my cards are moving. Okay, guys.
Patience.
So here's the thing. CSG is part of CGC, right? The people that grade comic books. So they are an established company. They're not like a pop-up company out of nowhere. They're established. They have a lot of money. They probably hire very competent people, but they are not putting enough marketing behind their slabs right now. Okay. So right now it's going to be very hard for you to move those cards. Like it would be hard for you to move any type of alternative grading company cards like HGA. What's that one that you use? Something?
RCG Revolution grading, card grading.
RCG. There's so many pop-up companies out there. And I've talked about this in one of my past videos about grading companies, but like these things, they're like they're basically like fancy holders. That's all they are. They're not going to really command any type of premium, in my opinion. Some people will collect those things, for whatever reason, but don't expect a huge premium and don't expect a lot of demand on those cards right now. That could change. That could change in a year or 2 years, as if they really put a lot of effort into marketing and getting their name out there, then people may accept them. And at some point, if they stay around long enough, people will accept them. Okay. It just depends on how much marketing they put into it. But right now, like ESA, BGS, and even to lesser extent SGC, those are really the only players in the market right now.
Well, didn't they strike a deal with Fanatics? Apparently, you know about that?
Did they? When was this? I
think so.
No, I didn't hear about that.
When Fanatics announced that they were going to take over the cards from Topps and Panini, that they were going to also do a deal with CSG. That's what I heard. How about you viewers? Did you hear anything about that? Please leave a comment.
Right.
And also, it's also
I didn't know that.
That CSG, My Slabs and ComC, and I think a couple other other websites that sell cards will allow CSG, and they don't allow like HGA or the Revolution that I was telling you about, or other cards, but they do allow CSG. And also CSG has their own grading for Pokemon and Magic the Gathering. Is that correct?
Yes.
Don't they do that as well? What's that one called? Is it still CSG or is it something else?
It's CGC, just like their comic books. CGC.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I like them. I like them. Yeah.
Now, I didn't move any of those cards as either until after the National. And I think people finally saw the cards and had them in their hand at the National and then started buying them on eBay.
Right. A play that I do sometimes is I'll buy those alternative slabs if I can get them at a price like that's close to or equivalent to the raw card price, and I'll just use that as like a filter. Like if it's a 9, right? I'll buy it and I'll crack it and I'll send it to PSA or something like that, and I'll use that as a filter for me. So it's like it's better to buy a card that's been graded, whether that's a subjective grade or not, versus a raw card. You know what I mean? Just like you get like a filter, at least somebody's looked at it, they put it in a case, and if you can get it at a good price, then you can crack it and then you can send it to the other guys.
And that card is going to be the quality of the grade that card got from that grading company.
Right. But definitely, guys, try not to.
It's better than raw.
Go too crazy. Yeah, don't go too crazy with these alternative companies because they're popping up every day and you don't know how competent these people are. They're just fancy holders. Do not pay a huge premium for the card. Okay. If you go to the Dallas Card Show, you'll see like 5 pop-up companies there trying to get people to grade, trying to grade people's cards. Yeah. And they'll charge like $5 or $10 or something like that to grade their cards, but all they're doing is they're just putting it in a little fancy slab. I have one here. Look, you can buy these slabs. This is a PSA slab. You can buy this stuff and just slab things yourself. Yeah, a guy gave this to me at a card show, and I just use it as an example here. But anybody can put a card in a slab. That doesn't mean that the card is really the grade that they assign to it. Anyways, let's move to this one. Looks like there's some guys going back and forth over Bitcoin versus cash.
I'm sure.
So that's an interesting topic here. I will just say, I don't want to have a whole discussion about this, but we have to pay attention to the value of cash right now. I think that inflation is real. Okay, that's why I made a video this week. So you might want to shift your focus into some alternative assets that are maybe not as subject to inflation rates, if that makes sense, right? Like Money Mike here, he's talking about Bitcoin, right, or crypto. I think not those good, but it's definitely something that you have to pay attention to, for sure. Is it better than cash right now? Argue yes. I don't know. Are you seeing anybody taking Bitcoin at card shows right now?
No, I haven't even heard of that yet. I mean, I'm living in LA. You think you would? Have you?
Oh no, people have asked me. Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of people. People have asked me about it. They use like the Cash App and Coinbase like that.
Oh yes,
those apps to take Bitcoin. Yeah,
so Cash App
it's definitely
Bitcoin.
a thing. Yeah,
Cash App takes Bitcoin.
Money Mike knows all about
it. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, right. Okay, let me try to get through the comments here.
Let's do it.
Money Mike is very active right now in the chat.
There would be more cards sold. I hope you're right.
Oh, some people are talking about gold.
Yeah,
there's a debate right now going in the chat.
Bullion.
I've seen at card shows with gold coins in their case, like asking for gold. So it's kind of crazy.
Okay, next.
Okay, I'm going through the chat here. So I'm just going to highlight some comments, and you can read them out loud, so just so these people can see here.
Okay.
While I go through.
Yes, but when all electricity is lost, how much is it worth? Oh wow. Okay. Fanatics bought CGS. They did.
Did they really?
I don't know. I didn't investigate, research. I just thought they were collaborating.
Yeah.
For things like either you're gonna like open a box of already like pre-graded cards or something. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay. We got some more comments with this here.
Oh, awesome. I love it. Thank you. As Rob. Welcome, Rob.
Okay, so Ryan, what have you seen from HGA in terms of grading standards compared to PSA BGS? I don't know. It's hard to say. I would say that they're trying. I don't know, like in terms of their standard. I think they would be. They're probably a lot more strict. You trade with them a lot, Merlin. What do you see?
I mean, the only bad thing right now, they're a little behind, just like everybody else. But their grades are legit. They just don't. They've gone through a lot of shit this year because of the autographs and then the falling apart of some of the cases at the very beginning. All the freshman, wrinkles that they need iron out, of course. But you know what? And people bitch about that, and you see it all over YouTube about all these things, and they emphasize it and spotlight it. So when you go on, YouTube looking for content about GA, you see all this negativity. But you know what? I've had the same issues with PSA, with BGS, with SGC. I've had cases fall apart. I've had cards damaged. I have had cards lost, way behind in schedule. It's just the same. And these are, veteran companies. So, I mean, they just need to, get the respect. I hope they do. I like the cards. I like the labels. I like the cases. They're very sturdy. Like, here's the Mike Tyson I just got back today, autographed.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, remember,
cool.
like
nice.
PSA and BGS, they're not an authenticating company. Correct. So they just grade the autograph. They don't authenticate the autograph. They don't have anybody in their company that does that.
They
and
have
same with SGC. Correct?
Wait, you're talking about PSA not authenticating?
No, PSA authenticates them. Because you see the DNA. PSA and BGS both do.
HGA doesn't.
And
right.
SGC doesn't. They only grade the autograph. They don't authenticate the autograph. So that's the only thing. But I mean, you get to choose your day service. Sometimes I just want some cards quickly that I bought on eBay, and I want them in time for a card show in a couple of weeks. So I get the 10-day service, so I can just have it in a slab. That's the only reason I do it, because no one's going to buy my raw cards, and I just want them, so what the quality of the grade. It's up to you if you want to buy it, if you want to crack it open, like Dan says, and send it to PSA. Hell, I've even done that with some of my own HGA cards. I've taken a chance and I've cracked them, and I sent them to PSA or BGS, to see how they were.
Okay. All right. Let's take a Baking Barrel Rolls question here. You guys own any NFTs? Is this the real deal? Okay. So I do own just a couple like NFTs, but they're worthless, guys. Like the ones that I own, they're worthless.
Same here.
I think here's my opinion about NFTs. Okay. And I did a video about this maybe a couple months ago, but so check that out if you guys can. NFTs right now, it's a gold rush. People are just buying, trading them just to try to flip and make money. The ones that 99% of NFTs out there are like it's like fake, right? It's fake. It's a fake commodity, a fake asset that people have created, and they're just flipping it, right? And eventually some of these guys, they're going to end up holding bags on all these NFTs when the price really drops dramatically, because there's just too many out there. They have no real value. The only NFTs that I believe will have value, well, let me just say this. I think NFTs will be a thing, okay, eventually. But the only ones that are really going to hold values are the ones that have strong IPs behind them, like ones that are made by like Disney, Pokemon, Marvel, or ones that have like some type of usefulness behind them. Like they give you exclusive access to something like a conference, a club, a convention, something like that. But all these other ones that just basically pictures of apes and llamas and other animals, they're useless, guys. I mean, punks might be the one exception to that. There are a couple standouts, but like 99% of them, they're useless, guys. And people are just trading them back and forth because it's like fake money that they're playing with. Okay. And they think they're going to get rich on them, but a lot of people are going to end up holding the bag on these ones.
Now, when I was having Thanksgiving dinner with my friend on Thursday, that he had some of his friends who were buying art NFTs, and you could either choose, like these were like polka dot oil paintings, so it even has like drip and everything, and you could either buy the piece of art or you could buy the NFT. And if you bought the NFT, then they burn the piece of art. So you can only have one or the other. You can't have both. So is that a good investment?
Right. I think that's a gimmick. I think that's a gimmick they're doing just to try to, just to try to create like some type of rarity in it. But again, it's like they're so easy to mint. Every day people are minting NFTs out of nothing, right? And there's no real value behind them, guys. It's like, but like people are minting them. They're putting it on their platform like OpenSea or something like that, and they're trading it in Ethereum, I guess. Okay. And they'll buy it one day and it'll be like 0.5 ETH, and then the next day it'll be like at 0.8, and then they flip it or something like that. And that's the game that's going on right now. But that's a very dangerous game because it's creating a bubble, essentially, is what I believe. And it's eventually that bubble is going to pop. Same thing with like the card market. Okay, if we look at what happened with our card market earlier this year, when people were buying and flipping base cards that were going for thousands of dollars, eventually it got to the point where the bubble popped and everything went down. And I think the same thing will happen with NFTs. And only the really, really good projects are the ones that are going to survive. Okay, moving on. Mervin wants me to get Mervin wants me to get the Macho Man auto from you. I think we're gonna have to do that deal at some point.
Everybody
I needed to go. I needed to go with my. Yeah, I needed to go with my Undertaker.
Oh, definitely one of my most talked about items at shows.
Right.
That's for sure. Oh,
Mervin's always trying to get me to talk about cricket cards. He's always bringing up cricket cards.
I wish I knew about cricket.
Charles got a comment here. I ordered 1,000 Gary V's new books to get his NFTs coming out in 2 weeks. Interesting.
Are you for real, Charles? Wow.
1,000. So Charles is going to be giving away a lot of books for Christmas, I guess.
I guess so. Gary V.
Cora,
I'll take
what's
one,
up?
Charles. Hey, Cora.
All right. How you doing, Cora? Okay. Cora's got a question here.
Oh, here you go.
Do you have Star Stock, and do you think that it's the future of cards? I don't use Star Stock, so I would not be able to answer that. And since I don't use it, I don't know if it's the future of cards or not. Do you? You know?
I do use it, and I have so many cards on there, and they have not. They're just dead on there, moving, and it's just like really cheap cards. And I thought, like, last year I saw a lot more movement. People are doing like quick flips within the website because you can do it there. Once it's in your collection, you can sell it like that day of. So if like who is it, like Taylor Tucker Horton or whatever his name is for the Lakers, when he had a great game for the Lakers, those, you know, say penny cards would go up from like 5 cents to 10 cents, and you could buy like, you know, 20 of them, 100 of them if you wanted to, and then flip them the next day. This year, they just haven't moved. It's been really dead. Have you all, the viewers, have y'all had the same experience? If you are with Star Stock, don't let me know. But I've just kind of really sold the cards pretty cheap, and all the ones that I sent graded, I have requested them to be sent back to me because they just aren't moving, and I've done better selling them either at shows or on eBay.
Right. Interesting. Okay, Money Mike, what's better buy now, Luka rookie auto or Curry rookie auto? For me, Curry, hands down.
Yeah, definitely.
He's the best player in the league. He's the best player in the league right now. The Warriors are real deal, so I'm going with Curry.
Yeah, he's hot as Jordan right now, or Kobe, definitely.
Right. Paul's waiting for me to get on Whatnot. Yes, I'm waiting to get on there too, guys. So I'm waiting for them to give me approval, and then I'll start doing some Whatnot auctions just for fun.
Can't wait,
so
man.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm waiting. If anybody knows anybody at Whatnot, let them know that I'm on the waiting list.
Can you like give a brief description of Whatnot really is? I want to know more about it. Can you kind of tell me in a paragraph what
it's just it's another marketplace. It's another marketplace, kind of like eBay, but it's all done live. Right. Okay. So you can have live auctions that last for like 1 minute. So like, let's just say, I'll just pull out something I have here. Let's just say we're on Whatnot right now and be like, okay, guys, I've got this, this Juggernaut PMG card here. Let's start the auction at $1 and we'll go for 1 minute. And everybody in the chat, like right now, could bid on this card and it'll go to whatever price it goes to. And then you sell it that way. So it's just another sales platform, but it's kind of very exclusive. You have to sign up to get in. You have to sign up to be approved to sell on it.
Okay. How about as a buyer?
It's fun. It's like it's like rapid fire, like all these auctions are 1 minute and sometimes you can get some really good deals on there.
Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Let me go through the chat here. Dex, you tried to win the Transcendent Charlotte Becky, the 4 horsewomen, but you got outbid. Yeah, I got outbid on that one too.
How much did it end up selling for?
Oh, I forget. I think like $800. The one that I was looking at was
that's not bad at all. I thought it would be like worth more.
Yeah.
And that's the large card size, right? That was the large one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a number 1 of a series of that card. So I just got to be patient. I'll get it eventually. I just got to.
You need to find the box.
Okay, Mark.
I thought you were going to find a box.
I know. I'm waiting for that. Mark, thoughts on My Slabs? I like My Slabs. I don't use it. I have a My Slabs profile. I don't use it as much as I should, just because it's kind of hard for me to upload the photos and stuff like that. But I like it. I like My Slabs as an alternative platform to eBay for sure. Just because the fees are low and they seem to be vetting getting a lot of the people on there so that there's less like shadiness going on. So I like my slabs.
I do, yeah. I mean, it comes in waves. I'll have a little dry spell, and then all of a sudden, for like a month, people are buying from me on there for every day. And they do take CSG and SGC, BGS, and PSA, but not HGA and the Revolution that I use.
Garrett is asking, what is a great example of a CSG to submit? I don't know. I'll defer to you, Merlin. You're the one who submits to them.
It can be any cards. They just don't take non-sports right now, so I think it's only sports. So, and then if you want to do Pokemon or the other gaming stuff, then you have to send it to the other company. But I, usually do like mid-tier, anything from $100 to $500 cards. And I've gotten, even a lot of times I've gotten back some pristine 10 cards back. And I've gotten more of those than I did when I submitted to BGS. I bet you I've gotten about probably at least a half a dozen that come back that were pristine 10s.
All right. Okay. All right. Going through the comments here, guys. I'm going to try to get to everybody.
This is amazing.
I'm running a little bit behind here. Dex, I don't have any plans to go to any Bay Area card shows.
No, we were just there now. Like last week.
Yeah. So I don't think I could help you with that. Sorry. Okay, Money Mike here. What are your guys' dream card if you had an unlimited budget? Ooh, for me, the Kobe Credentials PSA 10. That would be my dream card.
And mine would be definitely the 86 Jordan Fleer PSA 10.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, Ryan's got a question here. PMG question. Ooh, I love PMGs. Are PMG cards with edge issues still desirable? Seem that they show wear pretty easily and they don't pop up often for players in my PC. So yeah, PMG cards are very condition sensitive, whether they're Marvel or football or basketball, they're all condition sensitive. So I think that is understood for people who are looking for PMGs. Like if people are looking for only PSA 10 PMGs, good luck. You're not going to find them. They're very super rare.
No.
So whenever they come on the market, people will just buy them. That's what I've seen. I've seen raw cards go for thousands of dollars. I've seen graded cards like 6s and 7s and 8s go for thousands of dollars. So I think the PMGs are like that one card that people just want no matter what the condition is.
Now, why do you think they always come
as long as they can get it within their price point?
Why do most of them come back PSA 8s? Do you think it's because the edges, the surface, or both, or what?
It's edges. The edges are like notoriously always chipping. They're thick cards, and I guess like the metallic or something makes it like easy to chip.
Gotcha.
Okay, next. Garrett, what Cali shows are you going to be at this weekend? I will not be at any shows this weekend, guys. I'll be out of town doing some family stuff. Merlin, where are you going to be at?
I will be at the Diamond 9 show in Placentia this Saturday. I wasn't going to do any shows, but the guys from LA Hobbyist are sponsoring this weekend show. And then I think they're going to have like Sasha T speaking and a couple other guys. So it's going to be like a very special event. So I'm going to go there and support and be with all those guys for it. So check out my Instagram. I'll post the flyer on there for more information. So check me out at Merleworld Cards at Instagram.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Ethan Tucker, for long term, you believer in buying the card and not the grade. Yes, absolutely. You want to get good quality cards, and some cards go beyond the grade. And I'll give you an example, like for example, like a Luka RPA, right? Okay. Whatever limited number of them are there out there, you're buying that card. You don't care if it's like an 8, 9, or 10. Obviously, you want to try to get the best grade out there, but grading is so subjective, guys. People are cracking cards, resubmitting them to different companies all the time. So pop counts are always like kind of like fluctuating and not super reliable. Grades are super subjective. So really, once you get to that level where you're spending serious money on cards, you're definitely buying the card over the grade. Okay. Especially if you're looking for like super rare cards, like RPAs that are limited numbers.
And I think that's a lot of times why I just, use different grading companies, because I just want that card slabbed, just so you know the quality of that card, instead of trying to sell it for raw and trying to argue with someone of the quality of the card. I just rather you see what the grade came from that company, and then we can, work from there.
Right. Right. So I think we're all caught up on the questions here. So I think this is a good segue to kind of talk about going back to the what cards should you be investing in to hedge against inflation. Okay, so let's clarify this discussion topic a little bit more.
Okay. Love it.
I'm not trying to tell people to say that you should buy all cards. All cards are not a good hedge against inflation, but specific cards are, and those are going to be like we were just talking about, the high-end rare cards. Okay, the patch autos, the numbered cards, the high-end brands, Flawless, National Treasure, the iconic rookie cards. Those are the cards that you should be investing in if you want an alternative asset that's going to keep pace or exceed current inflation rates. You should not be buying like new products, base cards, high population cards, anything like that. That stuff will not keep pace with it.
Totally agree. Totally.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're almost. How long do you want to go tonight, Merlin? We're almost at 1 hour here. We've caught up with all the questions. Is there any hot topic you want to discuss? Yeah. Any topic you guys want to discuss?
What do the viewers have to say? You made last minute questions. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah. If you guys
regarding tonight,
if you guys have questions, try to get them in. We'll go a little bit. We'll go a little bit over an hour today. But if we've already answered all the questions, then cut it
it's
short.
not a precious metal gem, but I did get a Spider-Man Marvel Ultra from 2017, silver of the Spider-Man that I just got back today. It's a beautiful card. I love the slab. It is an HGA, but it's Spider-Man, and it got a 9.5. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful one.
And like I said, it is thick.
Oh, it is. See it in there. Even the base cards are thick.
This one is.
So that's the base card.
This is a silver.
That's a base card.
It is, because it says.
I don't know. I'm asking. Is it numbered?
It says silver.
Is it numbered?
No, it's not numbered. So it's just like a special non-numbered card, silver. But usually, like you said, even these cards don't grade that well.
Okay. I've got a question from Mark here. Do you guys know of any good reputable sports card collector insurance companies? I don't have a referral for you yet, Mark, but I am researching this right now. I'm going to be purchasing insurance, and I'm going to be making a video about the whole process. So I will have a referral probably in a couple weeks I'll be able to give you, and I'll post it for you guys. But I think that once you get to a certain level, you need to start thinking, you need to buy insurance for your cards. I'm at that level now where I have to look into that. Not everybody's going to be like that, but if you guys are really active in the hobby and you're going to shows every week and you have a lot of expensive inventory, then definitely it's probably something you need.
Yeah, man. Can you just go get some at State Farm or what?
I don't think so. I think there's like some special. There's companies that like know that know about collectibles where they will insure, because collectibles are kind of weird. It's like, I have this card, right? And let's just say I have this card insured and I just tuck it away. How are they going to know, if I file a claim for this, how are they going to know? Right. And so not all insurance companies will insure collectibles like this, but there are ones out there and they're popping up every day where they're offering that product. I think that real interesting thing about insurance too is I think that they cover not just stolen, not just like lost or damaged items, but like I think they will cover things like when you're mailing cards out if they get stolen or something like that. So I don't know. I have to look into it more, but I will make a video about that.
I think I also have been starting to get emails from Beckett regarding insurance as well, but I haven't looked into it. So check that out.
Beckett offers website. It, I think. Right. Hey, Mike is asking, Jordan True rookie is Star 101 or Flair 86. Right now the market has said that it is the Flair 86, but I think it's going to be the Flair 86. That's the most iconic card.
It will,
to be honest. The
unofficial
Star
is Star 101.
Right.
That's the unofficial one.
Yeah, the Star 101 is going to be like the alternative rookie, but it's never going to be called his true rookie, I think.
And I think only Beckett or BGS grades those, right, Dan?
Yeah. Bacon barrel roll. What's my rarest pop that I have? I can't even tell you, to be honest. Like
I didn't know you were probably a collector.
Yeah, I have it, but I'm trying to get out of it because it's over my life, to be honest. But I probably think the rarest pop I have is probably going to be like my Macho Man pop, I think.
Oh, really?
Which is not even that. Yeah, it's not even that expensive, but it's something that I have. Juan, no, hey, Juan, I will not be setting up any card shows. Yeah, but Merlin will be at Diamond 9 this weekend.
Yeah, I think you saw me. I think you messaged me on Instagram. I'll see you Saturday, dude, if you're there.
Okay, Mervin's asking me why I don't follow him on Instagram. Well, could be a couple reasons. I had to look at your Instagram because I don't know it off the top of my head, but it depends. If you are not posting a lot, I'm probably not going to follow you. If it's a personal Instagram, I probably won't follow it on my card Instagram. Okay, because people ask me all the time to follow them, and I just don't like to do that because it clogs my feed, guys. So if you don't post a lot or you don't have card content, I'm probably not going to follow you. But if we chat a lot and we interact a lot, then I'll probably follow you if we become friends.
I think that happened to me. I followed some people at the beginning, and I just kept seeing like my whole algorithm, just a roll of just the baby pictures, and there was just too many baby pictures. I was like, I got to see cards, not baby photos.
Yeah, right. Okay, Pioneers GM is asking me. Right, he's asking me that why do I consider vintage cards a niche market? Just wondering if they're so stable. When I say, well, I use the word niche a lot, and what I mean by that is like separate, right? Separate and maybe not like a large piece of the pie, so to speak. And if you go to any card show, okay, unless it's specifically a vintage card show, vintage cards are like 10% of a show, maybe less than that. And they don't get a lot of love at card shows or anything like that. People just are not in the vintage market right now. So that's why I call it niche. But vintage is super safe market because people are always going to want to buy vintage cards. Okay. They're just not like, I don't know, maybe they're not super exciting. I guess maybe because all the people that are in the market right now are relatively young, that they didn't grow up watching those guys. They don't really necessarily care for those historical players. I don't know. What do you think?
It's just, they're more interested in what's in the mainstream, what you see on TV every single day versus what you saw, the player from 60 years ago who's not even alive. Everybody's going to always love Mickey Mantle, but Mickey Mantle is not in the spotlight unless, he sells a card that's like 4 or 5 million and it's in the news. Then it becomes popular again. And some of the kids will want some, but it's not every single day that everybody's going to want a Mickey Mantle card. Plus, they're super expensive.
Right. And Marvel Guy just said it himself. Vintage is safe, but it's not sexy. I like it, but if the way that I'm judging it is based on the activity that I see at card shows, and vintage is like less than 10% all these card shows, and even at the National when I went there, like all the vintage booths, they had like no traffic at them, sadly, so that's just not where the market is focused on right now.
Yeah, so true. There were so many vintage tables too.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look here.
Yeah. Okay, Juan, have we seen AEW Upper Deck cards? What is the card to get? I have not seen them except for that sheet that was offered at like Toy Fair or something like that a couple months ago in New York.
Really?
But
oh wow,
I will just go out on. I will go out on a limb and say that the card to get is MJF. He's my favorite guy.
Yes,
MJF. That guy will take over wrestling. And did anybody watch that? Yeah.
I picked up a few from his 2018 AEW All In card. This is rookie card. So buy some of those, folks.
I need to get that.
And he's getting a lot of hype.
Yeah.
What's it? Go ahead.
Did you see the promo between him and CM Punk the other day?
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah, everybody's been talking about that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that promo.
Everybody's
been
so
loving
awesome.
it. Even Jim Cornette just praised it, and all the other YouTube people that discuss wrestling. Definitely. So I can't wait.
I know.
MJF, when are the AEW Upper Deck cards coming out? When are they coming out? I've been waiting for them for the past 6 months, and they were supposed to come out in November, then December, and now I haven't heard anything. So when are my AEW Upper Deck cards?
Probably that first quarter of next year.
Oh,
I would guess Q1 of next year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Darby Allin, I think, is a good buy too.
I know, like, we're not supposed to like JF because he's a heel or whatever, but I just think he's so entertaining.
No, he's super talented.
Okay.
I was going to tell you, Vince McMahon probably wants him too.
I know, right? Kyle Kuzma, I don't care about Kyle Kuzma at all, so that's not a buy for me.
I mean, he's doing well,
Jarrett,
Washington, but yeah.
Yes. Are we going to the Dallas Card Show in January? Yes, we are. Me and Merlin will be there. We might have to do Between Two Slabs live from Dallas. I think we might have to do that.
Come to Dallas and visit us, okay? Bring us some cool cards to our table.
Anybody plan to go to Dallas? We should organize some type of meetup. That would be really cool.
Mickey Mantle isn't going to tear his ACL. Nope. He's done. Gone past that.
I don't know if PSA opens up tomorrow. Are you talking about their new tier? I'm not sure, but I think it's imminent. We've been talking about it. There's a lot of everybody's talking about it, so I think that the next tier will open up. Right.
And they think it's going to be like $100. So
I guess these guys are telling us that it's going to open up tomorrow. That's interesting. $100? Yeah. Oh, if it's $100, I'm sending all my PMGs in for sure.
And how many do you have?
Like 15.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean? Like 15 PMGs?
Yeah. And that's probably going to take what? A month? $100 a month, I'm saying? I don't know. Just speculation.
I would imagine like 2 months, maybe.
Okay. So for 150, you can get the card back in about 2 to 3 weeks. And then if you pay 100, then it's going to take
I think it's a little bit longer than that. Yeah, I think it's a little bit longer than that. By the way, guys, Oh yeah, from PSA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 2 to 3 weeks.
By the way, guys, I submitted the Kevin Durant refractor that I cracked, the BGS 8.5. This one.
What?
This one.
Where you got it back?
Right here. Yeah. No, I submitted it to PSA on Monday, so I should have it back. And I paid for the Super Express, so I should have it back within a week. So we'll see. We'll be getting an update. We'll see if this gamble paid off. I kind of regret doing it, to be honest. I had this 8.5 and I cracked it, hoping to get a 9, but now I regret doing it. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll make a video about it. It'll be some interesting content, at least.
Oh, can't wait to see this. Can't wait. Enjoyed seeing you on Flippin' Steve the other day, Dan.
Jarrett.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Flippin' Steve is a cool guy. Jarrett, I met Jarrett at the Dallas Card Show, so that was cool.
Well, can't wait to see you in January, Jarrett.
Yeah, don't jinx me.
7.5 Durant.
Right. Okay, guys. All right. Well, I mean, Merlin, should we wrap it up? I think we got to all the questions here.
Let's wrap it up. It was really great. I'm glad we got to do this again. And let's do this, next week or two. So make sure you hit the bell icon so you know when we're going to do the next Between Two Slabs. Hit, subscribe button and hit like. Leave any comments or anything. Let us know more about what we discussed today. So we have any of the questions regarding PSA, about the inflation, regarding any grading companies, then, you leave the comments. Dan, you have anything else to say?
If you guys hit the like button on this, guys, because that gives us the feedback that we need, and we'll make this a regular thing. Like, I don't mind hanging out with you guys and Merlin every Tuesday. I think it's cool. So we'll make this a regular thing if you guys enjoy it, but just hit the like button so that we can get the feedback for it, or leave some comments or something like that. But I appreciate all you guys hanging out with us on Tuesday night. This was super fun. We'll try to do this next week for you guys. And in the meantime, that's it.
That's it, guys. And make sure you check us out on Instagram, the Great Curator Merlin cards. See y'all later. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay. See you guys.